You have mentioned how long the average economic expansion lasts. Can you mention those numbers again in the context of where we are in this expansion?
Yeah, so there's nothing typical about any expansion. They're all over the place. So if you look at kind of the standard deviation of where these expansions are, they're all over the place. So the mean and the median are like 50 and 58 months, I believe.
Yeah, it's the mean's 59, the median's 50. We're 77 months into the current expansion.
Right. So if you guys, I don't know if Josie's, if she can do this, but it's in our current macro slide deck. We update that. We show the
it's
the
slide
history.
10 in the macro deck if you can pull it up.
It's called a century of cycles. So if you look at that, it's a very important chart. I find that, like today, I'll go like 6 meetings in a row, and everybody will be like, "Wow, that's interesting." Like, it's not a known. Most people in our business, and correct me if I'm wrong, Josh, I mean, people are stock pickers and sector pickers and nose pickers, but they're not history people. They don't actually always know where we are in a cycle, and that's the point. It's at a bare minimum ridiculous to be calling it a mid-cycle slowdown now at 77 months in, unless you think it's the 1990s. And I see guys partying like it's the 80s, forget the 90s, but it's definitely not, it's neither from an economic expansion perspective. It's long in the tooth and it's slowing. That's why every single data series, I just tweeted PPI, final demand. You can see this. I mean, there's actually a recession in cyclicals and industrials at this point. That's a recession. There's a recession in durable goods. There's a recession in a lot of inflation-oriented or deflation-adjusted sectors. You have a recession going on here in large swaths of the U.S. economy. You don't have a consumption recession yet, but the employment and consumption pieces are clearly rolling over as they do at the end of every cycle. So again, this cycle is super late cycle. That's why we call the current macro theme, as opposed to calling it the late cycle. We went to the super late cycle. And what comes after the super late cycle is, guess what? The recession.